Yo, 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 yo. What it do? It is RB22, episode 53, Texas Ring of Fire. Got Harry, got Jose, got lots of talk about, lots to unravel. Austin FC, FC Dallas, Houston Dynamo. That's what you're here for. Harry, don't know what he's doing. He's over there getting ready to talk some Austin FC. You know how he's the biggest fan. It's Bro
No, dude, I
Migo.
had to adjust the scarf, the goal with the one with the star.
Hmm.
All right, nobody cares about your stars, bro.
I'm sure Austin
Nah.
does after one of their players just dunked on you this past week. But anyway, we'll talk about it.
Hey, plenty to talk about.
I think
plenty to
somebody's.
talk
Hey,
about.
I think somebody just slid by.
Yeah,
Bro,
there's a lot of memes going around.
A lot of memes, man,
If you're
and
not
they're
on
good.
Twitter,
They're good.
yeah, they're pretty good. If you're not on Twitter, you're not on Instagram, you got to get on there. Right now, St. Louis is just having a ball with the 6-3. They beat Austin FC 6-3. That was pretty bad. Houston Dynamo beat Portland 5-0. They are currently playing RSL in U.S. Open Cup 1-0 halftime. But other than that, real quick, we'll get into it. We'll get into some Houston Dynamo. Houston Dynamo hosted Portland Timbers. That's Steve Clark's ex-team. We always have a ball when we have Portland come to Austin. We always score a lot of goals against them. But as of late, they haven't been so hot. So I don't know if that's much to brag about. They did just lose their head coach after that 5-0 thumping. Thoughts real quick, Harry, because I know you're the Houston guy. Anybody Houston also, you want to come in and take over the Houston spot, feel free to get into my DMs and see if you're a good fit. But how you feel, Harry? How you feeling?
From the Houston aspect, I thought it was pretty good when they came out. Pretty convincing. Had a 3-0 lead within was it the first 15 minutes? Yeah, goal by Bassi at the 5th minute. Nelson Quinones in the 11th, and Corey Baird in the 14th. And then Franco Escobar put the game away at 45 plus 3. So they went into the half up 4-0. And really, the game wasn't even that close. And that's kind of crazy to say. You could tell that Portland came out, did a lot of changes, did 4 subs right at the half, trying to shake things up. But, Dynamo got the 5th goal in the 63rd minute with the goal by Bradley Smith. I watched the game. It wasn't as close as a 5-0. It was a completely domination. And unlike a certain other team that we'll talk about a little bit later, after that match, I had concerns if Gio was going to last, and unfortunately he didn't. And just, Portland has a history. Gio's a great coach. I think he's one of the, especially coming from the D2 level. I know he was with the Cosmos, so I had a slight advantage with the payroll, but I think he's proven to be an above average coach in MLS for that here 2 MLS finals. He didn't get the W in there, but to me, I think from a Dynamo aspect, it was everything you wanted coming back from the break.
They're the team to beat right now. I will say that confidently. Yeah, Houston's the team to beat in Texas right now. Not even close. And Dallas, there's still question marks because of the fact that we're getting players back, and because of Leagues Cup and because of games getting postponed, we haven't seen what Dallas can do. I haven't seen my team play in 2.5 weeks because the Philly game got postponed. So we don't know how they look with the new signings.
What was the deal with that? Why did those games get postponed? A lot of games. Do you know why?
Because the Leagues Cup.
They were playing.
Yeah. Philadelphia played in the third place
game,
match.
Yeah.
They had a game day before.
But why do you know why the other games got postponed on Sunday?
Well, it's because Inter Miami.
Like Galaxy got postponed.
And then the 2 LA matches, the 2 LA matches were due to the tropical storm.
Yeah, the hurricane.
The tropical storm.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But anybody who was
postponed, I don't know if you saw pictures of the Dodger Stadium. It was underwater, and it was the right call by MLS. And I would expect, if Houston was underwater, if Austin, San Antonio, if a storm came back, you got to do that for public safety.
I agree. But I don't think. Yeah. So we haven't seen this new look Dallas yet, and it will look like it's new because of our 2 most recent signings, the most prolific being Mendy. But I think, and we'll talk about that later. But I just think right now, Houston collectively, Portland's bad, but Houston made them look worse. And then, I mean, right now, bro, they're beating right now as we talk, they're beating a really good Real Salt Lake team. Could be up 2-0. It's 1-0. So like, I don't know. I think there's a lot to say about Houston. Yeah. They're peaking at the right time. Right now, they are the team to beat in Texas.
Houston looks good. Houston does look good.
And that's why it amazes me. There's no the fans like.
But I told you that. Last episode.
So at some point, they need to show up for this team. At some point, we can no longer blame the FO. Like we can't blame the marketing. Can't blame any of that shit. You just need to show up,
that, bro.
Period. That's it. I'm tired of making excuses for this fan base, bro. They just need to go.
Yeah,
it's sad.
I've been trying to say that, man. I'm
about to drive down to Houston from Dallas just to show that I drink the medicine that I'm spewing right now, bro. Like I want to make you need to support your local team, bro. If you guys like soccer, if you're showing up for Mexico, you need to show up for Houston Dynamo. Period.
Listen to this man.
Listen to this
man. He got the idea. I'm telling you, like, it doesn't make sense if you can fill up a stadium for Mexico and
NFL stadium.
Yes, a bigger stadium. Like, come on, man. Like,
it's sad, bro.
Doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And Harry, he says that they've burned bridges with the fans and this and that, which may be. But if you go for that club or whatever, it's like, man, even new fans, bro. As many new fans as there are,
it's true, Harry. And there's more content creators right now covering Houston than I personally ever seen. I think that like there needs to be like actual. I don't know, man. If you're really a fan, you just appreciate ball in any way, shape, or form. If you watch MLS games on TV, I guarantee you those tickets are cheap. Your ass needs to be in those seats. Like it just at some point. I know it's hot. I know it's Houston. I know sometimes it sucks, but like just go, especially the big ones, the ones that matter. I mean, this team's performing, and they're performing for like a percentage of what they could be getting in terms of fan base. They need actual fans there. I agree with Acha. I think he has a point.
And especially where it's a downtown stadium.
Yes, bro. There's so much
it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I have nothing else to add. I mean,
it's just I was watching the game earlier, right before we came on today, and I was sitting there like the vibe from switching from FC Cincinnati to the Houston Dynamo game. It's just like a complete night and day. It's as a fan who just wants to see the game grow here. For anybody who's making excuses about it down in Houston, you're playing your fucking self. Like you're playing yourself. You need to get to the game. Stop complaining. Just go support. Don't worry about the FO. Don't worry about the administration. Go support the players, bro. They're playing good ball right now.
Especially first 1,000 fans.
The owner's investing in the club.
Yeah.
I agree. So they're playing tonight against RSL. Chicho Arango, he's not in the lineup. What's up with him?
I think it's just an open cup thing. That's what I think. I think personally, maybe they underestimated Houston. That they played a few guys off the bench. I was saying Chicho. I was expecting him to start, and when he didn't,
does he come in after halftime?
Not after halftime. He probably comes in though. It's only 1-0. I mean, you still want to. If you're a manager, you still want to use these types of matches to give some of your players minutes. I think Salt Lake knows that they're going to make playoffs. And granted, they have a little bit of a break from Leagues Cup, but I can see him playing a few guys off the bench and then. Just because experimenting, because you have the freedom to do it. You're not like around the playoff line. You're top four. So, I think they'll be fine regardless. But for tonight, we will see Chicho. I think we have to.
Yeah.
But do they qualify? Do they qualify for Champions League? Because if I'm Houston, you're what, a game and a half away from qualification for Champions League?
It means way more for Houston.
And I think Miami's already
Miami
qualified.
Right now.
Right, so
now nobody, bro. The top team in all of MLS just fucking lost, bro. There's no hope for MLS this year, none.
But no, I'm talking about for Houston. I think if they make the finals, since they're the runner-up, wouldn't that spot go to them as the highest seed for the CONCACAF Champions League next year?
As finishing the runner-up?
Yes.
Maybe because Miami already qualified.
I thought you had to win.
You have to win, but I don't.
Right, but if you're already qualified, Inter Miami already qualified based on Leagues Cup.
Leagues Cup, yes,
right?
Yes. So I don't know.
So they're
already
in.
What the rules are. Yeah, I don't know if it defaults to the runner-up or not. I have no idea.
I don't either. No idea.
That's a good question.
They also play RSL this weekend in Real Salt Lake at altitude. I mean, are they really saving Chicho for that? I mean,
They could be. I think. I also think it's going to be a way different game. I think an MLS match. I think Salt Lake is up for those. They've lost very few since like April. They've surprised me quite a bit this season, but I think the signing of Chicho was massive. The way they were to keep Ojeda, that was massive. I think there's a lot to like about Salt Lake right now, and I wouldn't put too much stock into how this Open Cup match goes, regardless of the result. Like if Houston wins, good for them. It's indicative of how good they are right now, but it doesn't mean Salt Lake's getting worse or dipping in form. I think that we'll see them turn around pretty quickly in the weekend.
yeah, RSL currently in 3rd place with 37 points. Houston currently in 6th place with 32 points.
Nice.
Like you say, RSL's up for this one. I say that maybe it's draw, 2-2 draw, somewhere around those lines, something like that.
It'd be a hell of a draw for Houston if they got it up in Salt Lake. If they got it, that'd be a hell of a draw.
Okay. So
what do you think? I think it's like 2-1.
2-1.
I think Houston scores. I think they make it tough for them. I just think it's tough to play in Salt Lake, and then I don't know. Leagues Cup might have disrupted some type of because they were on a tear going into that tournament. There were more than a few teams that were, but Salt Lake was feeling it, and I don't know how they'll look now after the restart, but I mean, I can see them, getting 2 goals at home, calling it a day. I think Houston's very beatable. They're just playing great football right now.
Harry, Houston guy, what do you think?
For trying to
and keep in mind, midfielders are still the primary goal scorers for Houston. As much as I'm raving about how Houston's playing, their goals are coming from forwards, of course, too. But like the majority of the chances, even tonight in Open Cup, right? Midfielders are the ones carrying the goal scoring form. I don't know how long that lasts, but maybe they'll carry it into Salt Lake. We'll see.
They're just so poor on the road, though.
Exactly.
That's the problem with the Dynamo is like a draw would be a good result with the altitude, with the form that Real Salt Lake's in. There's no way you could say now. The question is, and I guess this would be kind of a good question here is for the second half here. How much does Real Salt Lake really invest?
That's the thing.
What's important?
1-0. I mean,
it's still close. It's still close.
I don't think they really. If they get it, they
not
get
at
it.
Halftime. Not at halftime. I think if they go down 2-0, you're going to see Chicho come in probably pretty quickly. But I think just to make it a game, right? We saw what Miami just did. Granted, it's Barcelona, but
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't know. I think it's going to be tougher because they're terrible on the road because of the altitude. They'll get a goal. I just think Salt Lake at home, it's tough to bet against them right now. So I don't know. 2-1 to me is like fair, and I would still consider that a decent result.
Okay, so let's get into this. Houston, if they get through tonight, what are their odds? What are their chances? What do they have to do to beat Miami? I mean, what is it possible?
Chances are good. Actually.
I think it is, but
chances are good. Actually,
I think they're there. But what
where's the game played at?
I would believe
the Open Cup final.
Miami. I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. Anybody in chat knows?
I don't know how they do the final. But to answer your question, I think in a one-off game, first off, anything can happen. Period. Anything can happen. So you look at Houston's playing well right now in general. Miami is too, but bro, look at their 3 best players, the Barcelona boys. They come from Europe. They get maybe 3 weeks off. They jump into Leagues Cup, and then they go on the longest run ever in Leagues Cup. Right? They win the tournament. Then you have a turnaround. MLS restarts. You have Open Cup, which Miami they qualified for before they got there. And then you go the full 120 in PKs and Open Cup. We saw all of them looked dead tired by the end.
Dude, Messi looked like he was.
Bro, Busquets. I felt bad for Busquets. Busquets looked like he was basically a center back. He was lagging behind so far. It's tiring. And then on top of that, you have another game at the weekend, and then you got to figure out the final. So I don't know. I think Houston has more going for it.
The final isn't until September 27th. So.
Yeah, but they still have MLS. MLS restarts, and you have games. I'm sure they had games that were postponed due to Leagues Cup. So the schedule just gets interesting, right? Moving into September.
And for Miami, for Miami, they're must wins. They can't drop any points really, and realistically to make the playoffs.
Yeah, because what do they have available to get, right? They have to go after 36 points. Yeah, so right now every MLS game is going to count. So they probably can't afford to bench really any of those guys. So they're going to be tired, man, come the final. I think I don't know how much stock a guy like Messi puts into that. He's a winner through and through, so I'm sure he's taking it seriously. But I will say this: it's still like just crazy impressive that he's played 8 matches, and Inter Miami has never made a cup final in its history as a franchise. And Messi's about to have them in 2 back-to-back cup finals. It's just blows my mind.
And for Inter Miami, they would travel to Orlando on Sunday the 24th at a 6:30 kickoff, and then the 27th, which is a Wednesday, so 3 days later, they would host the final on that day. So it would be an extremely short turnaround, and then that following weekend they host New York City. So to me, it really kind of depends where they're at in the standings at that point on how realistic a shot does Houston have. I think Houston has a shot if they're on the same form. The problem is it's on the road. If it's on the road, I hate to say it, I lose confidence right now until they can prove me otherwise.
But if they find form, right? Let's say maybe they don't win every away match between now and then, but maybe they use this, they catch a little bit of fire, they get a draw on the road, maybe they nick a win here, they're at good form at home. I don't know, man. I think in a one-off match, I bank on guys like Carrasquilla who have the mindset, right? He showed it against the U.S. in the Gold Cup semifinal. I think I don't know. In a one-off match, it's hard to say that the superstars will win.
He was the playmaker of that first goal too. So
yeah. I don't know, man. I think something to say about recency bias and being in form. I think that's not that Miami isn't. It's just that their best players are significantly older and they haven't had a break in over a year, really, like an actual break. So.
Yeah, so we'll end.
But that's why I don't think that they'll be in the playoff run either. But that's a whole different discussion.
That's a whole different thing. Yeah. No, Miami. Yeah.
Okay.
Miami.
Okay. So we'll end with Houston with the question again. Does Houston end in the 8th, 9th place again? Like y'all said last 2 weeks ago.
If they ended 8th, it wouldn't surprise me. But I think now, I thought that was their ceiling. I'll put it that way. I was kind of in the camp of that's probably where they're going to finish. Their ceiling might be like 7th. Now they could finish middle of the table, 100%. I think the West is so open. There's, I think, 6 points that separate 2nd from 9th or whatever it is, 8th or 9th. So the Sounders could easily, man, the way they're playing, dude, Seattle has only won 5 in the last 18 matches. 5. That's holy shit. And they're in 4th place. So right now, there's a strong chance teams like that can slide down, and teams who are coming into form right now, like Houston, can push their way up. So I don't know. If I'm a Dynamo fan, you feel encouraged 100%.
I agree.
Here's the issue. So 6 is 32 points. FC Dallas is in 10th at 30 points. So you're talking about a 2-point gap with 5 teams right there.
Yeah. The West is crazy.
I don't know how you predict
that. The West is wild.
And that's not, I don't know if Portland will get a bounce with getting rid of Gio. Galaxy's 22 points, so they're 9 points out. I don't know if they're in a better position than Miami, but I don't know. But to me, it comes down to: do you trust Minnesota United? Do you trust Vancouver? Do you trust Austin? Do you trust Houston? Do you trust FC Dallas? And there's huge question marks with each team.
There is. I think the biggest question. Yeah, the biggest question mark is actually with Dallas, I think. Because it's one of those things where they could be this mediocre team they've been while being injured all year, or they could also equally be a very sound, fluid, composed team, especially when you add someone like Mendy. Mendy is going to add so much, I think, calmness and patience to our midfield that doesn't really have a strong distributor of the ball. He's been hurt like half the matches this season, so we've been relying on guys like Cerrillo and Quignon, and they're not really those dudes. He will help a lot, but equally, I don't know what to expect because I've never seen him play in MLS. Nobody has, right? He's old as hell. I think he still got it. He's still a baller, 100%. And you got the Canadian Fraser, so it should be really interesting.
But I think Dallas has the highest ceiling out of the teams we're talking about. They have the highest ceiling.
Yeah, I agree.
And the less volatility. I think they're going to be more consistent. Where the other 4 teams, and I'll even throw San Jose into that mix. I know they got it's a 5-point gap between them and FC.
Yeah,
Dallas.
but they're gonna lose Cade. That's the thing is they're gonna lose Cowell, and so like.
But how sure are you they're gonna lose him this summer?
But aren't they really close to making the move?
Hey, Coop. Who's that? It's Cooper Weinstein. Hey, so this guy, he's a Dallas fan, Jose.
Coop, good shit, bro. Good shit. I know. Yeah, I know. RB ain't laughing right now. Yeah.
No, I'm laughing because you say that you're the one that is like down the most. I can't.
No. I said questionable.
I feel like
questionable is what we said. No, Austin is 100%. I said questionable, and I kind of meant what Harry said. Like
I feel like Austin.
Yeah, no. I think you're defining questionable as a bad thing. I'm defining questionable.
And that's what I'm laughing at, Coop. I'm laughing at the fact that I think I'm more questionable than Dallas.
When I say questionable, I think of it as 50-50. Like it could be the same mid team we've seen all season, or like Harry said, the ceiling is massive, and we could turn into this playoff powerhouse team. It just really depends on how the signings go and how they mesh with the players now that they're finally back from injury. It only took us till fucking August. Now that we have our players back, it honestly took Leagues Cup. If Leagues Cup didn't happen and we didn't get a break, I don't know if we would have came back fully fit. It would have been tough. But that's why I say we're questionable. I don't mean it's like we're bad. That's the only bad team on this show today is Austin FC. It's not even close.
Yeah. So
El Paso, if we're talking USL, El Paso's lost 10. So there's always somebody worse, whether it's RGV or El Paso, Austin,
and not that much worse. Let's be honest, not that much worse. Okay, RB. So you guys are in the fucking mud. If we're being honest, bro, I haven't laughed that hard since watching the St. Louis game in a long time, bro. A long time. And you know what's crazy? I have receipts. There are videos on Twitter of Austin fans talking about how when Cascante comes back, how good he's gonna be, bro. He's a fucking meme on the internet right now. Bro, from the first game, St. Louis literally got the
You've listened to the show, right? You've listened to the show for a while, right?
Yeah.
I have never been on board with
Cascante. But bro, 90% of your fan base was saying, bro, I can't wait for the second time we play St. Louis because Cascante is going to be back. It's going to be great. Bro, he got dumped on. Like it was,
dude.
Holy
shit. Well, the whole team got dumped on, dude.
But I know, but you sent the video. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And more importantly, like it's bad, man. Like what's crazy is that I thought that the break was going to do you good. I really did.
Yeah,
I thought Austin would heavily benefit.
Squad-ass game.
Dude, you guys have just
go
gotten
to St. Louis.
Worse.
Yeah, we go to St. Louis and we get clapped 6-3. 6-3. We were in the group chat. I was in the group chat with a few buddies of mine, and they were saying that it was going to be. I think the craziest prediction was 4-1. 4-1,
which it was at one point. So that person would have been right.
It was, and I was like, all right, 4-1, like that's pretty bad, but I do think we're gonna get clapped. You know, 6-3, dude, 6-3. When it was 5-3, and Stuver made that mistake throwing that ball out to the striker, directly to the striker, I was like, dude, like let's just get on the, let's come back home already. Like, ref, we're done. We are done. 6-3 against St. Louis, first place team in the West. What's up, Harry?
Here's the question for you. So the first match, Kip Keller caught the blame, right, for doing something very similar. And he got sent down to Austin Dos, whatever you guys call it. What's going to be the fallout from this team? Because there were several examples just like what Kip Keller did. And does Stuver sit a game? Because he turned the ball right over.
That's what
Cascante.
people are calling for. So people calling for. You're on mute, Jose.
No, you're good. You're good. Keep going.
So yeah, they're calling for Damian Loss to start now, which is not a bad idea. We'll get into the first goal. The second goal, third goal. I can't remember even maybe the fourth goal, but so many of them were on Cascante. Cascante not checking, not attacking, not coming out, just giving so much space, man. And I've talked about this before on the show before, guys. Like, it gets so annoying the way Cascante defends. He's not an MLS defender. I've said this before. People have DM'd me, talking mess, telling me, hey, man, like, why are you such a Cascante hater? Like, we should be going for our team. We should be supporting our team. We should be doing. I agree. I'm not that kind of person that likes to be negative, bro, at all. But whenever you have a defender that's getting paid as much as they get paid, and they're not even nowhere near level as to what you've seen on a Sunday league, that's frustrating. And whenever they get knocked down and they get up like Shaq, whenever he was 36 year old, however old he was, dude, looking like his knees are about to give out, man, that's frustrating. It's frustrating to see. So Cascante, that money that we have going into Cascante, it can go into a better center back. And for Cascante to be the ceiling of our center backs, can't be that no more. It has to be like Gabrielson. Gabrielson has to be like, all right, this is what we have right here. Second center back is somebody like Vicenen, right? Somebody who's solid right there. And then your third string is somebody like, I don't know, somebody better than Cascante. And then your fourth string should be Cascante. That should be like a fourth string center back to me. And
Either way,
where do you put Kip in this? So my biggest problem with Austin,
non-existent.
Yeah, so Kip is, it makes me nervous playing him now because Josh has already like mentally mind F this guy so bad. Like, I feel like Kip is.
That's true.
And it's not Kip's fault.
Yeah.
It's not Kip's fault. No, like,
they did it wrong last year.
Yes,
to me, they
last
did it wrong
year.
last year.
And you bring it up so much. They should have loaned him out to ESL squad, got him some real minutes. Because whenever even the
he didn't have any minutes.
He's doing good, right? Austin FC, he's doing good over there. Then they call him up. They make him ride the bench. They call CJ up. CJ did not start this last game, didn't get no minutes. That's what's frustrating, is that he's doing so good in ATX2, scoring goals, getting assists, getting a rhythm going, starting, getting minutes under his belt, right? Then you call him up for what? To sit on the bench? And then in these pressers, you're like, okay, so we have CJ. He's doing awesome. He's doing great. He's going to get minutes, this and that. And then you don't even play him. I understand if you're trying to throw the opposition off. I get it, right? But it doesn't make sense to get them out of rhythm and not give them minutes anymore. Like, to me, you're not developing. When are you going to play them? When?
Well, hold on. So I will say this. I will say this about that part of it. This happens everywhere, and it's kind of for one specific reason. I think if the player's not forcing the manager's hand to play him, meaning in training, he's standing out, he's doing all the things that you want him to do, he looks good in competition. Dude, it's just as much on the players as it is on the manager. So manager doesn't have to play him. He calls him up to give him a chance, but if he doesn't prove it in the week leading up to the match, it is what it is. It happens with the national team all the time. It happens with other leagues overseas. It's just how it is. So you either force your way into that team or you don't have to complain about it.
So this guy, he's scoring. Go ahead, he's scoring on the second team. Okay, so that's why he's a first team player. He's our super draft pick.
But there's a huge gap.
They had a
huge difference between MLS 2 and MLS.
Okay, let me finish. They had a scrimmage at Q2 versus New York City. Rumor is that he got the lone goal. He's getting goals against these teams. Okay. They lost 2-1, but still he's getting his goal. Rigoni, dude, we've seen what Rigoni can and will bring to the table. So why not just give the kid a shot? If he's performing at this level, he has all the attributes, the height, the speed, the mentality. They're saying that he wasn't mature at the beginning of the season. Now he's mature. Okay, if you're saying all these things, then you're telling us that he's ready. Why not give him the minutes to give you a chance to see what he will do for you? Why not? Instead of just letting him sit on the bench and messing with his head, just like you did with Kip. That's where I'm
Dude,
getting at.
that doesn't mess with his head. If that messes with his head, he doesn't deserve to be a pro. He needs to go play somewhere
I
else,
agree.
bro.
I
Yeah,
agree.
that should
I
not mess
agree,
with your
but
head.
he's still young. I agree, but
yeah.
he's still young. I mean, but they're still young players,
But
man.
he-
And
he-
Owen,
here's where I'm going to
but
push back
Owen,
a little bit.
come on, Owen
That's
plays
where
no
I'm
matter
going.
what.
It's a different position.
Here's where I'm going to push back a little bit. With Coach Wolf, his track record is he doesn't really play the young kids, so we don't know what they're actually doing in practice or along those lines. And of course, we'll never know. Just like with Dallas and stuff, we don't typically know what's going on in practice. To me, but it's just like Coach Marcino at SAFC. It used to be you heard about San Antonio FC's academy, but now you don't because Coach Marcino prefers a more MLS, level type of player that's that fringe MLS player. You no longer hear about SAFC's academy. And that's what I kind of think the issue with Coach Wolf is publicly he'll promote and say, hey, yeah, we've got nice young guys, blah, 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 blah. But his actions don't back that up. And that's what the issue is outside of his son. And I'm not saying Little Wolf is bad or underperforming or anything along those lines.
I'm not even
because he's
saying
had
that
some
either.
good moments. But it's the track record of Coach Wolf that, and it's been my biggest gripe on how they built this team. Instead of getting young forwards like Sam Adeniran, instead of getting young players that they're bringing in Will Bruin, they're bringing in Zardes, that, yes, their pass was good, but do you really think that's a way to build a young expansion team? And as much as we joke with RB and Austin, this is year 3. Cincinnati took at this point had already won back-to-back wooden spoons, and it took year 4, year 5. I think I'd have to go back for them before they finally put it together. So, it goes into a deeper discussion on Coach Wolf and his playing style, his manager style along those lines. I don't know if he's a manager that will play young kids outside of his son.
Yeah, look, so the outside his son is what you say, and Jose, you say that it's a different position, right? Last year when we lost Ceci, we moved Diego over. We needed a right side ringer, right? We were like, okay, so who do we put? So we end up putting Wolf out there. Owen Wolf, when he's a 10, when we have options, he's not gonna. If it's not his son, it's not gonna happen. And that's what I'm trying to get at. And it's so frustrating, bro, because why doesn't he do it to his son?
Because it's what you say, it's his son. I think at the end of the day, look, I think he knows how his son's developing more than anybody else, right? There's like a level of bias that comes with your own family that you obviously goes into it.
Correct.
But all that I'm saying, again, it's just to play devil's advocate, and this is frankly for those who don't understand, right? When you go on a pro trial, I've been on those myself, bro, you literally have to force your hand. There are plenty of players that I knew coming up who the manager didn't even like them, but they were so damn good. They worked so hard on the field that it would be literally irresponsible for the manager not to play them. He could get fired. You have to show out. It literally is your opportunity. And if you're just training the way that you train with the FC2 boys, with the with the actual MLS team, you want to be on the bench. That's what you want. This is a coach who, like Perry said, likes to play experienced players. You have to force their hand. Otherwise, you're going to get what you get.
Yeah. No, I agree. I 100% agree. I see it differently. I kind of keep up with what I mean, just like you, if you were to watch the North Texas team, you could tell the guys that are outgrown in that team. They just
for sure. For sure.
So,
but I wouldn't say, I mean, he's how old is CJ? 19?
He's 19.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say he's
Owen's
outgrown
18.
it per se.
I mean,
he's got a little bit of time. And
but what I'm saying is that look, when we have the option to play him, and Rigoni is coming back from injury, You know,
But
Memo
what do you
Rodriguez
want Wolf
just
to
got
do
here.
if you have look? Imagine this is you as a manager in training. You have your experienced
Okay.
guy who trains well, right? But let's just assume he does. That's probably the way why he gets call ups.
I'm assuming.
Let's just assume he plays well, and then you have this younger guy who every other day he kind of shows me something that gets me excited. But then equally, just has those days where he's not feeling it. Who do you want me to start, man? Like
I agree.
it's
I
so
agree.
difficult.
But we
It's
don't
so
know that
difficult.
that's the story. We don't know that that's the case.
No,
You know,
but I'm saying it
But
don't
here's-
easily happen.
and we don't know that on my case either that he's like como la está rompiendo. You know, we don't know that either, right?
I get it.
So-
It's just
And-
devil's advocate.
And here's the solution, though. And Dallas has done this. If you got those kids that are tweeners that might be ready for MLS, but are definitely better than MLS 2, you loan them out. Even if it's, for a month or two, 6 weeks, you loan them to a team that'll get them minutes. It's just like Sam and Dinner, and I hate referring back to him, but he had a big game now. All of a sudden, Europe's interested and stuff like that.
We know
He got
Harry.
minutes.
You've let me know
But
all week.
no. But he got minutes. He got his confidence. He came to St. Louis City. He was able to step in, and the level of competition had moved up. That's the problem with Austin FC is, their Austin FC 2 team is doing great, but that development, like CJ, as you mentioned here, he's probably a level above that, but and to go with Jose, he's probably not at the MLS level yet. He needs to be loaned out to a USL team, USL Championship or somebody else on that equivalent to be able to get challenged, to be able to take that final step that he needs to do to build that final confidence and build that work ethic. That's what Austin FC hasn't shown that they're doing.
That scares me though, to loan a player out. Like, it just scares me sometimes.
No, it shouldn't, man. Bro. If you, as long as you have written in the contract that you're able to call them back, we've called Colin Smith back 2 separate times from Texas SC. 2 completely different times. Like as a 1-game quick contract, put him right back with his team. Like there are ways to make it.
It has to be guaranteed callback.
It's built into where they can call him back.
A player on some.
But sometimes they also write in the contract that they can't. So that has to be part of the terms you negotiate. But SC Dallas does it for all of their players. Like they want their players playing as much as possible.
And that's the only reason it scares me.
Yeah, and maybe Austin's agenda is the problem. Who knows? But I will also say this: CJ does benefit from training with the first team. Period. That I know for a fact that's a level above what he's currently playing at. So, no matter what,
I like
he's benefiting from training.
I like that. So,
and here's Austin, here's how you can know to finish up on that. You look at Isaiah Parker. He hardly gets time with San Antonio FC. You can't tell me that FC Dallas is going to extend him if he's on his final year or not, because he got loaned out to us. I think he was fringe 18 at the start of the season, and you guys brought in was it Sam Junka, and kind of took his spot.
Better player though, yeah.
Right, but that's what you find out is, can the player step up to that additional level before you put him at the MLS level? That's the role that the D2 level can fit for this year. And it's something that Dallas does a good job with it. It sucked from us because they loaned, I think it was Colin Montgomery. He got pulled up right for the playoffs, and we missed him in the playoffs. But that's the rules that's the name of the game. That's why we're worried about Tani, and we're worried about Rita Zahir getting called back, at an important time frame, because they're such an important part of SAFC. But that's the role of a USL Championship team that Austin FC to this point has not excelled at. Yes.
Yeah.
But to me that's the step. And I don't know if it's Coach Wolf. I don't know if it's the new GM. I don't know if it's just an organizational output, mentality. They haven't developed that mentality of loaning people out.
Your reflection of your manager. And look, and that's why, in all honesty, man, when you guys signed Rodos as technical director, that's why. Like now you have someone, and it's the start of something hopefully good, right? I guess for Austin it's someone who thinks completely different from Wolf and is probably going to outlast him, if we're being honest. So he'll probably have a hand in the next manager that's chosen. And then you will start to see this new look Austin FC, probably from top to bottom, system wide. Austin FC 2, the first team, and just how they think about developing the team from the ground up. Because in all honesty, man, you guys under Wolf just not good at identifying talent in the market, right? So the counteract to that would be to develop your talent, the FC Dallas model, which I still think is a good model. I mean, you can go out there and find talent that can help you. That's a big name. I mean, look, we signed a Yadamendi. I think Austin FC would kill for Yadamendi right now. So like, you know, I think, you know, but around him is a ton of youthful talent who has legs for the full 90, and they believe in each other. There's no egos. Like that's something that you no random manager or technical director could fix. It's a foundational thing. You have to set it up right from the beginning.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I also agree with you saying that about Burrell. I do not disagree at all. It's a process. Like I said last episode, I wish I could just see the winter and see what it looks like. I'm going to have to suffer a little bit. I mean, the fans got to buckle down and just know that we're going to suffer. Whether we make playoffs, whether Wolf goes or doesn't go, which I hear the fans got something brewing for him, the Seattle match. I don't know. I don't know in detail, but I just, yeah. Oh, I guess Chicho was in, man. It says Arango Sale, so he's just a quiet.
Yeah, he did come in.
Guy.
He came in, yeah.
Oh, he came in?
Yeah.
Oh, he's out already.
Well, I saw him on.
Okay.
But anyway, it is 1-1, by the way.
Yes.
For anybody who's watching.
So yeah, I think that it's going to be a process.
So the preview for you guys, because I know you mentioned 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh yeah.
So the Copa Tejas.
Yes, and ironically, I'm going to be down in Austin for that matchup.
You're coming to the watch party, to We Are Austin's watch party.
Yeah. I helped organize it. So
there you go.
Trying to pull off some cool things with some of the local restaurants down there. Yeah, man, probably the only Dallas fan of the whole joint, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting match. Like I said, right now it kind of
only Barca fan too.
Probably. It boils down to like what I said before, right? I still think we have a good core, and I think I'm going into this match the same way I went into the first match against Austin. Like, I don't know. I could see a close 1-0, but I think the positive boost that we get is like, bro, Yada's going to be ready to play. I don't know if Frazier will be ready to play immediately, but you get Ferreira back in some practicing rhythm, not coming off of Gold Cup like he was for Leagues Cup. Like now he gets to settle in, train with his team. I think Obrion's finally off of suspension. I think Areola should be healthy now. Paxton's healthy again. I'm just excited to see the boys like finally. I haven't seen them play together this way since like April. So just seeing that lineup come out will be good. I honestly, man, I'm not scared of Austin at all. I don't think anybody in the league should be. This team's down. we're gonna be at Frisco.
Funny,
I mean,
bro.
I
not funny.
I'm thinking like 2-0, bro. Like I don't know. But easily
I
could
1-0. Now it's 2-0.
Because the more I think about it,
it's gonna be 6-0.
The more I think about it, man, I mean, like some of those goals against St. Louis were easy. That you don't even have to be the first place team in the West to run it up on Austin right now. Like it's, I don't know,
dude. So they watched video and they were like, "You see Cascante? You see Cascante? You have 1v1 against him. I don't care if it's you, the goalie. You take him on 1v1."
You know what's crazy? The thing about Austin is the fan base could lose, right? The team loses, the fan base loses, and I'm talking about the first time you play against St. Louis, and you still give them bulletin board material. That's what I don't understand, right? To hear other St. Louis City SC podcasts this morning talking about how they remember fans saying when Cascante is back, it's going to be a different game and they're going to push it, and then just to get dunked on like that. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I think the expectations are not realistic.
Not here.
For the most part.
We didn't say
the
that.
arrogance. It's the arrogance of the fan base.
I know. And it's
That's what it is.
He's Ascante here for us.
Yeah, I totally. I try to give Cascante the benefit of the doubt too. When everybody else is shitting on him as a neutral fan or a opposing fan, someone has no stock in that player. I thought he had some physical potential, but dude, his decision making is god awful. But even past that,
but it just wasn't him though. That's the thing.
Backup striker.
Yeah, bro. And look, and there's holes all over the place, right? The fact that like Will Bruin had to kick off the scoring poses its own problems up front, and then on past that, you have the missing Fagundes now, which I heard a lot of fans say in the Twitter Spaces after the game that, missing Fagundes is not a big deal. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's visible. You had someone who ran up and down the pitch, put in a shift every single time. And I'm saying that as a Dallas fan, someone who chipped our fucking keeper last time we played him. I don't know, man. He did a lot, I think, for the team that can't be seen on a stat line. And now when the team gets scored on, this is why I think it could be 1-0 till like the 80th minute, and then we could pump in like 2. Because I think the minute that the team is down bad, even a little bit, if they get any sense of doubt where the match is going to go, they have zero mental strength, and the match will collapse on them.
But that's why Dallas needs to come out and get an early goal. The longer this match goes, the more Austin FC can get more confident to where, hey, we can play with FC Dallas. To me, if Dallas can get a goal in the first 10, 15 minutes, that just puts the pressure on there. And the whole problem with Austin, and I think RB would agree with me, is there's no leadership on the pitch.
Zero.
You could argue leadership on the sideline, period. And that's where losing Diego hurts, because he at least had a little bit of it. We've talked about Alex Reen. They don't play him in position. He's in the doghouse for whatever reason.
It's more than a little. The dude has Austin FC
right
tatted
now
on his body. Like let that shit sink in. He has an employer tatted on his body physically. Like that's all you need to say. Name another fucking player on that roster who's that level of committed and then got traded. Like, I don't know, man. It's just I think he's a bigger missing piece than most fans give credit for. And on top of that, if we come out in any way, shape, or form close to the way we played against Miami, you guys are fucked. Like I'm sorry, but Kamungo's gonna have a hat trick. Yeah. Like I don't know. Yeah. I think like that type of Velasco
at
that
this
type
point,
of Kamungo,
I don't even know what lineup. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, I agree. I don't see us beating you guys. Maybe a draw. A draw would be nice. I could see us getting a draw possibly if we can play the game smart. If we can hold you guys off. The first 15 minutes, the last 5 minutes of the first half, and then the first 5 minutes of the second half. Those are the key moments right there. Y'all don't score in those windows right there, and I think that we have a good chance to get a draw. But as for a dub, Copa Tejas, us winning that, I don't even know if the fans are going to travel this match. I really don't.
But yeah, I don't know. I will say this, though. The one I think maybe saving grace, if there is one for Austin FC for this match, and maybe potentially moving forward, depending on how it goes, is the former FC Dallas player, Matt Hedges. I think he's coming home to an extent, right? Played 300-plus appearances for FC Dallas. He's kind of coming home to an extent, knows what it's like to play in front of that fan base. Will hopefully, and is naturally, I will say naturally, a leader of men. I think even if he's not wearing the captain's band, he will be vocal about how to come into the stadium and try to play. But at the same time, he's older. He's 33 years old. I don't know if he keep up with the likes of Kamungo and Ferreira anymore. So physically, he may not have as much as he can offer morally. But I still think that they should be trying to pick Matt Hedges' brain as much as possible, because he's probably the best chance they have right now.
I agree. So watch party.
I'll say this for Copa Tejas.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If Austin does get a draw, they would have 7 points, which would eliminate FC Dallas because they'd be at 2 with 1 match to play. The Dynamo still would have the opportunity to get 7 points, and then it goes to the tiebreaker. And just to briefly talk on Copa Tejas USL, San Antonio beat RGV, but they traveled down on the 30th to play RGV, so next Wednesday. If RGV wins, they win the cup. If it's a draw or San Antonio wins the USL Copa Tejas. So this Saturday, we could see if Austin FC wins, they win Copa Tejas back-to-back for MLS. If Dallas wins, then that sets up when you guys have that return match. I don't know. I guess it's in Houston. FC Dallas, Houston. Winner would get Copa Tejas on there. So that's your Copa Tejas.
I'll tell you what, man. If I hear down the road that Austin FC fans are like, oh, it was a decent season because we won Copa Tejas. None of y'all are real fans. None of y'all are real fans. I don't care what anybody says, bro. That should not be a saving grace for this season. The season's been bad all the way through, and if you don't make playoffs, chalk the whole fucking thing. Chalk the manager. Hit the reset button.
But we won Copa Tejas.
No,
I
bro,
think they should. I think they should.
No
hit the,
fucking way. That doesn't count for anything. I'm sorry. I'll be the one to say I'm a realist. I don't even know how many Copa Tejas FC Dallas has, if any. Like I don't care to track the stat.
They won one.
I care about Open Cups and MLS Cups. That's it.
But it's a supporters group driven trophy. So I think it carries some weight, but.
Okay, so Harry, if you had the season, if San Antonio had the season Austin has had, and you guys win Copa Tejas, is that a redeeming quality for the season?
No, but at least as fans, you can talk shit to Dallas and Houston.
Nah.
That, hey, we beat you. We suck, but we beat you. Come on. Yeah. Is that not true? Does that not carry some weight?
It's a little bit, but I'm still pissed off at how the season went. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're talking about just having something to talk shit about, because if not, yeah, you're right. But as far as for the supporters groups being able to talk shit between the different fan bases, that's where it matters. I don't think on a team level, because I'll use San Antonio as an example. Prior to them winning it, they didn't really give a shit about it. But they won it, and then, oh, hey, we got extra silverware. It's the same thing with Austin last year. You know, hey, well, we won it. We're going to talk shit about it. But outside of that, and that's why if you listen to, I think if you listen to really any of the chats or podcasts, most don't put a lot of weight behind it as kind of, what you're saying. But come at the end of the year, if you can say, hey, I'm the Copa Tejas champion, at least gives you something to talk shit, especially if Dallas or Houston, finish ahead of you. You can say, well, yeah, we suck, but we beat you.
That's fair.
So
that's
fair.
Where
it carries a little bit of weight.
Yeah, I just it's such a Mickey Mouse trophy for me. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I think if
come on, it's the United States, man. We got to develop.
I just want real silverware. That's what I'm after, and I feel like if I didn't even get into the postseason to go after it, it was just
yes.
I might as well have not tuned in this year. Like it was just it feels tough.
But let me give you an example. RGV, they've never won any silverware, period. If they won Copa Tejas, it would be something. It would show that they're heading in the right direction, right?
Yeah, that's fair. I guess maybe that's the difference, right? I think for MLS, like I can't imagine that being a redeeming quality for FC Dallas fans. Hopefully not Austin FC fans, but I could be wrong. And I don't know if Houston fans are they're not even into their own team, so they may not even know Copa Tejas is. But at the end of the day, like I don't know, man. Like I feel like this, like you want Leagues Cup, you want Open Cup, you want MLS Cup, you want to be competitive.
Oh yeah, those are the main trophies.
Austin fans don't want Leagues Cup.
No,
but it's a Mickey. The
goal behind this was to kind of be like the Cascadia Cup.
Fucking clown.
How much weight do you put behind the Cascadia Cup?
When I was in Seattle, I will say this, Harry. I do agree. I'm not just shitting on your point. There's a lot of people who feel the way you feel. Seattle is kind of different. They're built different out there. They care about anything that's worth competing for. And the Cascadia Cup, the rivalry with Portland's real. Like they travel well. The traditions they have, like they're locked.
Right. No, I get you. But I know the people who created the Copa Tejas, that's what they're trying to create is something similar here in Texas. Now we're not there. It's not even close. We don't have the history. We don't have, because they've got decades, 20, 30, 40 years of hatred that goes back.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of Houston, Dallas, that's probably the one that has the most hatred. And is it really a top rivalry?
It was better when Houston was good, if that makes sense. Like it was better when they were like 2011, 2012,
they had fans.
They had fans. They were winning titles. I mean, they had winning seasons consecutively. It was. I mean, Houston, it's a while ago.
Houston's still attacking, man. Houston, man. If they don't win this one, we'll see how. And apologies because Arango, he started this match.
Oh, he did. Okay. But I just think Copa Tejas, it's good, it's cool. All I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying we shouldn't.
It's too young.
Yeah. It just shouldn't be it shouldn't be what you latch onto when your season doesn't go the way that you want it to go. Like I think it's a
No,
cop
yeah.
out. I think it's a crutch. And
100%. I don't necessarily agree with that.
yeah.
But if you win it, I'm talking shit.
Same.
fair.
It's like the
Same.
Copa
That's
Shield.
fair. I'll take it.
The Copa Shield, even though it's you know, and I do the standings on it. Hey, if my club wins it, damn straight, I'm talking shit about it.
Yeah. No,
So-
valid point. I agree. With that said, I want my team to fucking go to playoffs. If we go to playoffs like we always do, I'm really not that upset. I know how my team operates. We don't have a ton of superstars.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that. Winning season, and I want us to try and make a run.
Do you have one question before? I do have one question before we get out of here, and this is going to be geared towards Jose. The Red Bulls are deciding that they're going to be shifting to try to bring in higher quality players from just instead of doing the academy path, and I think that's a direct result of Messi and seeing the boom. Is that something that you can see going through with FC Dallas and a league wide as well, where maybe there's already rumors that MLS may look to loosen the purse strings again? But can you see more teams? And it's a risk. Let's be honest, it's a risk to bring in players that may push the budget. But is that something that you could see Dallas and the league embracing more?
Probably. I think there's a lot that's going to have to change with Messi now being in the league and exposing some of the flaws and how we bring talent into the league, like the draft, for example. But I think, I don't know. I think Dallas will be very resistant. I think it'll happen eventually, but I think Dallas will be very resistant. Keep in mind, this system under Chris Hayden, who's the youth academy director, he directs all of youth football for FC Dallas. It's been this way since my class or the class before me, which was like the inaugural class for the academies. Like he has never ventured away from believing in the youth and thinking that should be the foundation for which you build your teams. So we'll still bring in maybe splashier signings. Maybe now we got a guy like Mendy when he's 28 or 29 or 30 and not 34, 35, right? But we find maybe star players earlier in their cycles. But I still think the foundation, like the core of the team, will probably always have that that youth identity to it. Yeah, I think it has to.
He comes from your favorite club, right? European club?
Sociedad? Yeah, he comes from Sociedad.
He played at one of your favorite European clubs.
Oh,
Sociedad's
right?
your favorite club?
No, it's I know of them. That's the only place. That's the only place I know that he played. I don't think he played anywhere else, as far as I know. He didn't play. That is. But with that said, Mendy is a good player, bro. He didn't play that much for Real Madrid. He came out of that academy, but at Sociedad, he balled.
I mean, but when he did, you could see the class.
Yeah, he's not a bad player. Like, it's just I don't think at the time. His timing is a big thing for players too. He's not what Real Madrid needed. And he's a slower player. He complemented Zubamendi well for Real Sociedad. He's the type of player that knows how to distribute and allows the more creative midfielders to do their thing. Paxton doesn't have to play as much defensively because Iyada's kind of slow. He'll stay back there. He'll trail back. He'll let Paxton push up and combine with Kamungo, with Ferreira. I think there's going to be more. Fasu now doesn't have to play a sole defensive mid. He can push up and be a true box-to-box. I think Mendy is going to free a lot of players to play a little more free and creatively while still being our primary distributor of the ball. Make no mistake, bro. I think Mendy is going to get hella assists coming into the second half of the season. I just expect
I agree.
I think he's going to feed players day in and day out.
I agree 100%. Hey, Harry, can you pull up that Soccer Stars camp for me real quick? We've got to plug in goals.tv, the Netflix of soccer. You already know what it is. My boy at It's Bro Migo. He's working hard, man, tirelessly. I know he's doing a lot of work over there.
Hell yeah.
What's new over there, man?
Bro, so the Women's World Cup just ended. So the Island Report has come and gone. It was a great fucking run. We probably had, I would say, our best probably month or so in terms of traffic. Obviously, the Women's World Cup is massive. And we got an exclusive series with Briley James. So it was great to get a lot of new eyeballs on Goals TV. But right now, man, MLS is booming. In fact, that podcast I mentioned earlier on this episode, Soul of the City, St. Louis City SC, goes hard into Austin FC. If anybody here wants to hear them get shit on, it's on Goals TV.
I have to
along
go
with
check that out. We should have brought them on.
They brought up the Cascante receipts. I thought that was really, really interesting. They're cool guys. I know them. They're dope. They create good content, like many of the other creators on there. So right now, we just added St. Louis City SC, DC United. We have more USL content on the platform now through the Howlers podcast, and a ton of other North American creators just like them, man. So come check it out if you're into MLS, USL, European soccer, whatever it may be. We got a ton of independent content there for you to consume.
My guy, use code FIRE.
Yeah, your last episode with the Howlers was pretty good.
They're really good dudes, man. Really good dudes, and they have so much access to USL. It's crazy.
Yeah, so use code FIRE for that one.
Yeah, they had the
lifetime-
Charleston coach on one of their episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Lifetime membership. Harry, he's just so rude today. I don't understand what's going on with him. But we got free soccer class
I don't
demo.
want to promote Jose, dude. Why am I promoting Jose?
Soccer stars. Harry, I'm about to mute you. I'm about to put you out of the room real quick. Got free soccer class demo this weekend, guys. So one last push for this Saturday, August 26th, 9:30 a.m. through 11:30 a.m. at Harper Field. Field 4, Lake Creek Parkway, ages 3 to 10. Tell them Text Ring of Fire sent you. It's free. You can get your kid involved in a little bit of soccer, see what their skills are, see if they're interested, any kind of whatever, even just to get them out of your hands for an hour or 2 hours. Look, 2 hours. You can drop them off, and then you can never come back. No, I'm just playing. You drop them off and see how they like it, man. You know, Soccer Stars, shout out to them. Just want to get one more plug for them. But other than that, man, I don't have anything else. What about you guys? You guys got anything else for the fans? Appreciate everyone who tuned in. Cooper, he always comments, and he's never actually been here live. So that's pretty cool that he's here live. He talks a lot of mess. He likes to get in, talk mess to RB. So that's what I like. I like the guys that like to come for me and don't hold it back. Just like you, Jose and
Facts,
Harry.
bro.
That's why y'all are my friends.
To be fair, I don't hold back on anybody, but yeah.
Hey, there you go. Okay, so so Alvaro and I guess Pegasus Gaming. Wolf out. Who's Wolf out? Not me. I mean, I don't know.
It's happening eventually. It's happening eventually.
I'm
You're kidding yourself.
That's what I meant.
It's happening.
I'm not gonna be like Wolf out. You know,
hold a sign at the stadium. I think, but I think it's gonna happen. Like any Austin fan that's like, oh, there's still a chance.
It has to happen.
You know, it's gonna be. It has to happen. But here's the crazy part. The part that I'm waiting for that could be hilarious is if Austin FC makes playoffs, the last spot. That is going to be the one redeeming factor that Wolf leans on to earn one more season or to continue down this path. And I think I don't know, bro. I'm Wolf in personally. I think I'd love to see Austin FC fans down this rabbit hole for another season. That'd be good.
If you haven't already, please subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, goals.tv. You already know, follow us all there. Hey, like Josh Wolf always says, we'll see you next week on episode 54. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we move. Stay better than my friends.